real hero. Not many around these days. Here,
She's even
I want
dressed
you to
like
have
him.
this. I hope you can find a use for it.
She's
The Institute
cosplaying
didn't
as
leave
Preston.
us any
Oh.
choice, General. It was us or them.
Anyway, welcome back everyone. Today we are finally building at Red Rocket. Red Rocket is right outside of Sanctuary, so typically it's one of the first settlements you run into, but we have somehow not built in this one up until now, so I'm excited to get to it. I'm just gonna start by scrapping things, and I'm gonna scrap, I think, pretty much everything that's here. I really wanna start with a clean slate. We can't get the tires on that side of the road. I know a lot of people, when they start a settlement, they try and come up with like a theme for the settlement, something like, ooh, this is my market settlement, this is my something settlement, you know? And I don't really have a theme in mind. I think I'm just kind of approaching this one as nice, safe place to live. And there's nothing wrong with building like that. And also, sometimes I do plan ahead. Didn't plan ahead for this one. We're just gonna let it reveal itself to us. So my goal is some safe housing, a little farmland. Let's scrap, yeah, campfire can go, cooking station can go. Maybe a bar. I think we're good to get rid of this ice cooler. And we'll save the hard hat. And yeah, I don't really feel the need to keep armor workbench, or I think there's a weapons workbench inside. I want to give us a real good clean slate. And we'll just keep this a calm and cozy kind of settlement. We have Preston back. In the last video, I didn't realize until I watched it back, till I was like adding captions to the footage, that he wasn't there the whole time. And it didn't occur to me as I was building. It really wasn't until afterwards that I was like, something's missing. But don't worry, I tracked him down. He was hanging out at Sanctuary, so we got him back. I love these phone domes. It's one of those pieces of world building in Fallout that's very like the Reagan Gothic inspiration, the futuristic sci-fi vision from the past that I just find so delightful. Okay, we're scrapping, reclaiming some of that wood. I know some people don't scrap the trees. Nothing wrong with not scrapping the trees. I do think it adds a lot of fun visual interest. But I like having the wood for building with, first of all. And second, there are so many trees around here that I don't really feel like we're missing on that visual interest. We'll keep the cigarettes. Ah, see, there's just so much we can do in here. Let's set up a recruitment beacon by the road, and then we can do the farm on the outside here, and then we can figure out what we're doing inside and with this main section. It's just so cool. And I guess we'll get rid of beer bottles. Somebody was here. I don't know who, but somebody was here. This sign is cool, but I say scrap it. Start with more of a clean slate. Okay. Power. We'll do a little generator. And I don't think I'm going to build anything on the road, so I'm not worried about taking up this space. Recruitment beacon. And where are cages? I want to try and attract a cat and dog for this settlement because that raises happiness. So we'll set those up right away. That should be on automatically, and we'll just let those run and see what we get. Okay. Scrap these trees. I love scrapping cars. Scrap the car. And then let's come over here because this is, I guess this is where the most like farmable land would be. And I want to make sure. Ooh, yeah, see, that's a good spot. I want to make sure that they have food. Let's actually look for a fence then. Where are fences? Because like I said, I want to make sure we hit the basics because I don't really know what I'm doing with this settlement yet. But we'll hit the basics first. Sometimes I can't figure out this fence. I think we're on the right track though, right? Let's do one more square this way. Oh, and somebody showed up. I should have put some sleeping bags down. And a gate. Will a gate fit in the middle here? Yes. Ooh, but that opens the wrong way. Oh, our happiness is starting so low. I feel like I should fix those issues now. I know some people don't add people in until the end. And I think that's a really valid way to do settlement building. I just like dressing up the people as I go. I feel like that's part of the fun of decoration. Okay. We're just gonna pop this down. And we'll do a pump next to the farm anyway. Okay. And now this, because the terrain is so uneven, I think the pillar glitch would be really good here. So let's grab a pillar. Just place that real close so I can group select. And now just push it back and push it down. How does that feel? Yeah, I mean, it's short over here, but I'm fine with that. We wanna, if we move it a little bit to the right, we can take up more of the unusable area, because that like brush is gonna make it hard to put a house, but we could technically put a shack here, maybe for a farmer. Now we can get rid of the post. And we'll put some food down for them because they are hungry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm hoping to get 6 in this row. 6, there we go. And then maybe some mute fruit. 1, 2, 3. That should be 6 units of food. And if we want 2 farmers, let's just say 2, we'll do another 6 units of food so they can be at their full capacity. So maybe 1, 2, 3 potatoes and some carrots I think would be good as well. Where am I? Like that. 1, 2, 3. Oop, I didn't put that down. There we go. And now that we've pillar glitched, I'm gonna move the water pump closer. Yeah, okay. That's a solid little farm. Let's grab, these two showed up together. Maybe they can both be farmers? Okay. They could both be farmers. Although, I want to try and make this a more populous settlement, so maybe we let them both be farmers. Yeah, we could make one a guard to get that defense higher right away, but I think maybe we'll make them both farmers. We'll aim for a larger settlement here. There's such a good blank spot here now that I feel like we can do their house and just set that up. And I know I'm not doing anything that's taken advantage of any of the cool parts of Red Rocket yet, so bear with me. We will get to those. But just for now, I want to make sure they're cozy and safe, set up with the basics. Because these are the first people to settle at Red Rocket. And I feel like they would start with food. Can this, that'll go right on. And we've got some room here for them to have a little dining area. I'm glad I faced the planks on the floor like horizontally so they can line up with this extension. Yeah, right now we're just going for cozy and safe. Building a life in the wasteland. Oh, am I cutting it too close on this back though? Oh no, that fit. And a roof. Oop. I'm getting stuck with these little steps. Okay. There we go. And usually I don't do these just like out and about, but I feel like they're kind of cute for fencing off their little area. Let's see how that feels. Maybe another one here. Yeah. And like that. And now that we've made that area a little safer, we can put down a little bench for them. Not that bench, because it would be floating. Would this sit kind of naturally? Maybe this side. No, because then it's in the bush. Okay, maybe a chair on that side, and then maybe a fire barrel on the other side. Because it seems laid out now. Ooh, campfire? No, I like the fire barrel more. I just do. Okay, it's a cute setup for them. Let's pop on a door. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little intimidated by the red rocket structure itself, which might be why I'm putting it off by doing a small shack first. But we'll get there, step by step. There's no need to rush. There's no need to overthink. We're just building some lovely little settlements. Okay. And for their dining area, I'm thinking just real simple. 2 chairs, central little table, and then the candles. We're getting some good natural lighting in here, so I don't want to forget about the lighting elements that we can do. I feel like we have room for a carpet here. Not carpet, a rug. Like this. Yeah. And somewhere for them to store stuff. Ooh. Wow, I wasn't thinking of the bureau, but now that I've kind of touched it down, I'm like, that's kind of cute. Is it too tall? It's a little too tall. I liked it in this corner. Yeah, I like that more than I thought I would. Good for storage. We'll give them a little wall shelf. And then since that takes care of container, we can do a little couch on this side. I don't usually use this beige couch, but I think it works really well here. There's a motorcycle outside. I don't know if you can hear that. Let's do another candle back here if I can fit it. I'm gonna regret building out this little shack once I'm struggling for the size requirement inside. But that's okay. I like sometimes starting with what I know to get back into the groove of things. That doesn't want to go on the shelf, and I don't want to fight with it, so. I will take a little plant, though. Yeah. I think that's really cute. All right, farming shack taken care of. Hi, Preston. This central area, I think, would work well as a diner, like restaurant. So if I clear out the coolant pumps and stuff, clear out the car as well. Like, I could see booths being around this central point. And then maybe the bar being like here. Food and drink. And then maybe we save the upstairs for like shopping. Ooh, I could go with either of these here. I could see this working and I could see this working. I think because we're outside, I'll stick with this one. It is floating. Why does it feel like it's... Because it is. That's very odd. I wonder why it's doing that. Because I'd love for it to be right on this sidewalk. You know what I mean? That's definitely floating. All right. Maybe I don't put it right on the sidewalk. Why does it want to float? Is it like clipping to anything? All right, I'll put it in front of the sidewalk. Ooh, and we can scrap this floor jack. With the idea being that this is where they could cook and then they would come out here and sell it. Actually, so maybe I'll bring it a little closer. And then this would be the dining area. Would that be nicer on a wood surface, or would it read well enough just to have the diner booths right on the ground? Let's try. I think we can do 2 of these per side. Ooh, although that side's kind of messy. Is that floating too much? A little. Maybe I nestle it in like that. And then we can cover up the gap with a countertop. Where's this counter? This might need a glitch to get it in there to cover up that dirt appropriately. Not that. You could use that. I think the space is just too tight. So I'm going to try and do it with this one. Oop, I'm not close enough. I grabbed both. Oh. Hold on. I won't be able to do it because it's not dirt. Is this dirt? That counts as dirt. So I'll put the post there. And then I should be able... Oh, and I made it so I can't even see. But now I can do like that. And that's going to help square off the space while letting me ignore a lot of the rubbish that's on the floor. Can I scooch this back in here? Yes, I can. Cuts into that structure a little bit, but I'm okay with that. And now we can do like a radio here. Oop, that's not in power. I think radios, decorations. I do so many of these videos, you would think that I would remember where things go. But alas. Okay, so we've got our radio. Something could be cool here. If not a light, I mean, I'm hoping the disco ball would be cool here, but if not the disco ball, the plain light would be nice. Or maybe even like the fan. It might be too small. Regardless, let's get a generator running and see how we feel about it. Should I just do, we can just do like one little generator back here. Where would be the easiest way to get power up here? I guess this will do it. Would that work? Okay, it's running. I think it's underwhelming because it's too far away. Ooh, wait, how about that lamp? That's cool. I actually like that a lot. And that would go with the vibe of some of the other neat lamps. Like if we wanted this one over here. Okay, power's not close enough to that, but we can definitely connect it over. Ooh, starting to rain. We still only have the 2 people, but happiness is rising. Okay, I like that. One more lamp. That one's like the same style, but a different variety. So that could be cute. Yeah. I think that's cute. All right, so we've got the bar there. And we could do some more tables. Like on either side. Although we don't want to discourage people from coming up to the bar, you know? Yeah, I almost feel like... I know I spent so much time positioning that, but this might be better. Just to keep it closer to where the actual seats are. Yeah. And now we can use another one of those counters to sort of bring this out. And I'm going to try and position it a little to the left so we can put some bar stools out of the way of the rubbish. I don't know why I keep saying rubbish. Okay. That's cute. And then we've got space here, which I did think would be good to use as like the back room of the bar. There's so much to scrap in here. Oh, I guess I don't want to scrap the Editronic, but I might want to move it outside. Is there a wall that it could go on? Not really. Oh, yeah. It could go there. Yeah. Okay, that's cute. Tires we can scrap. There's so much stuff here. I was gonna collect the junk just outside of workshop mode, but I think if we do it inside of workshop mode, collecting it will lower that size limit a little bit. And I know we're gonna fill this one up, so we might as well. Scrap the refrigerator. Can we scrap these table things or no? Guess not. And it is a little harder to see inside, so I'll turn on my Pip-Boy. Okay, so we're using the downstairs for a diner, which I think is wonderful. And then Red Rocket has a flat roof, and I want to take advantage of that flat roof. And I think we could do like a whole little market up there. That could be really cool. So let's try to feel that out. Would the wood foundation be high enough to reach up there? No. So this would have to be like a two-step kind of situation. Yeah, because it's definitely not one staircase big, but it could be two staircases big. All right, hear me out. Because I think we could do like one like this. So this would be the whole diner setup, but then we could have 1, 2 stories. We'll scooch this out to make it actually fit, but I think we can get up there. I think we can do it. Ooh, that's close. I see that it's close. Why can't I back up more? Oh, I'm right against this barrier. Okay. I have faith in this vision. That's a little too tall. We want it to kind of blend together. Ooh, that might be it. That might be it. Let's see how close I got. Oh, but the sign is blocking us. All right, let's still scope this out. Okay, we can do this. I am gonna move the ladder to this side. Ooh, will that work without any adjustment? That was smooth. Okay. Okay. Yeah. It will be a little hard for them to get back out. Like, I want stairs on the other side, I feel like. That, just to get them over the lip. Yeah. Yeah. There we go. Okay. That came together better than I thought it would. Let's wall this off so it's a little safer for them without worrying about falling. And then we can let them take advantage of this little outdoor space by putting some seating here. Maybe it's tiring to walk up all those stairs. Maybe they need a little break halfway through. I like the patio chair better than the plain chair. Or maybe somebody sits down here to allow access to the roof. Let's get... Ooh. Oh, if I could get all these pieces to fit, that'll be really cute. Let's put the table back first because it's the biggest. If I rotate it, will we have more luck? Maybe. And slide that one in like that. And this chair right here. That's so cute. And now I'm thinking oil lamp. Did I already pass the oil lamp? Oh, this is furniture and I want decorations. Yeah. Okay, that's really cute. And now we have this upstairs area. So we could do a bunch of little shops up here. We could do armory and weapons and clothing and general. That's wonderful. And we're scrapping. I know now it's dark. The sky's still kind of dusky, but it feels dark. Oh, our farmers are coming over. Let's steal their bed. Or no, we can crash on one of these. I'm gonna go ahead and scrap the radio, scrap the table, scrap the weapons workbench. I'm gonna scrap most of this stuff. I do think it's so cool to use Red Rocket as like a garage. It's such a neat idea, but I don't think that's how I'm gonna use it. I think we're gonna focus on Mega Market on the roof. Because how cool would that be? Like if you're facing raiders and threats from other things like ground level, having a rooftop market where you can kind of cut off access by just not letting people on the stairs, like that's really cool. It's going to be really cozy for them. And then you've got the standalone housing for the two farmers. That could be cool. What's back here? An office? Let's just scrap it. While we're here and the light from my Pip-Boy is the only thing we've got anyway, I say we scrap. I know people get mad when I scrap things like terminals that we can't get back. I know. I wouldn't do that. Oop. Didn't mean to open that up. I wouldn't do that in my own playthroughs, but for this series, I would rather us have a clean slate. Scrap, scrap, scrap. You know, I've never really paid attention to this. Interesting. I thought I was gonna do a clinic as a separate shack, but I think some of these internal rooms might lend themselves really well to being clinical. Clinical, or the general trader is inside. Toaster we can scrap. Cabinet will scrap. Telephone will scrap. Because this could be a good spot clinic-wise. I like the idea of having this be the big general trader. I really do like that idea. Does this door open? Oh. I think I might go clinic. I might go clinic on this side and general trader in the big garage. And then we'll let the bar just be outside. Okay, so if I want to do a clinic in here, I know it's dark out, but it's not going to get much lighter inside. I would want power. I would want power running through this whole thing if we can get it. Let's see. Because I want the doors to be able to close. Is that floating? I want it to get closer, so we might pillar glitch again. This might be the most glitches that I've done like right off the bat. Usually I don't. But I want these things to be able to get right in the corners. And for some reason, Bethesda doesn't want me to do that. There, does that feel? Yeah. The only thing we're cutting into is that dirt pile, and I'm totally fine with that. Because if we have a generator connected, we should be able to power up this whole place through the window. There we go. And we're probably going to need to do some more wiring. Oop. I like that. That's lovely. Stores, clinic. All right, let's figure out where this can go. I would love if I could get rid of this existing counter and just put this one in. Doesn't seem like that's going to happen. It's too wide to go sideways down this hallway. Could go like this. Could it go in here? Oh, it could go in here. Yeah, I mean, it takes up the whole room, but I'm okay with that. Because then here could be... Ooh, we could do our little waiting room out here. What about a bed? Because I was thinking beds go back here. Let's try using the smaller one. I always feel defeated when I have to use the smaller one. There's really nothing wrong with it. Oh, it does look so much cuter in that little back corner. And that gives us room for if we do have people who need more intensive care, this can be a care ward for them. Let's do bed on this side, join or die. Sew together your body parts or lose them. That was weird. I don't know. But then we can do a chemistry station here. That'll help cover up some of that dirt too. There. That's nice. And then clinic here. These walls are kind of gross. So let's grab some posters. Posters. Not a poster. Still gonna run with it. Drug sign. This interior is a lot shabbier than I thought it was gonna be. Let's see if we can't cover a lot of that up. Floor mats cover all sins. Oop. I didn't mean to move all of them. Yeah, okay, that's a little better. Now I can cover up more wall with some paintings. I do love those posters. Actually, let's do posters instead of paintings. And we have power in here, so they'll light up. Let's go to these ones. Yeah, I always like doing the Milton General Hospital one when I can. And I'm leaving the back wall free for a little shelf. Shelf, shelf, shelf. Yeah. The wall, they just seem kind of asylum-y, abandoned. But at least it's indoors, safe from the elements. which I think they would value over fresh paint on the walls, you know? Do little chair, clinic. This might look better to me if we put some stuff on that shelf. Looking for these big bottles of Radex. Not a sleeping bag, but ooh. Yeah, this will help the walls not seem as weird. I wish that there were more things to put in a clinic that stood up straight like this, because the stim packs are so not visually, just like physically flat items. You wouldn't see them if I put them up on that shelf. Okay, that's cute. That's coming together more as like a little doctor's office. And maybe I do my waiting room couch here against the side. I like the black couch because you can't see the stains on it as much. That. And a little plant. Plant. There we go. Yeah, that's cute. That's really lovely. Definitely getting there. What about another poster? Because we put on the Milton General Hospital one, but there might be another one that just seems kind of fun in here. Power, bowling. Let's do the cat astronaut, because usually I like to do a cat poster for feeling like a kid's waiting room, but Mr. Pebbles, I think, gives us the same vibes, but just in a nice lit poster way. All right, this looks like somewhere you would go to die after having your kidney stolen. So let's make it more fun. Maybe silver shroud. Actually, let's try turning the bed. So then we can do like a nightstand or a cart next to it, so there's not like so much space chopped off. Nope, those things feel scary. Or maybe, what am I looking for? A sink would be back here. And sinks make things feel less scary, right? A sink. Because you would be like, you know, it looks like I'm gonna die here, but there's a sink, so at least it's clean. I don't know. Let's do the cart. Yeah, actually, I stand by it. I come back to defending myself, because that makes it feel more intentional. Oh, I was gonna do an oil lamp, but we have power in here, so let's actually see if there's anything like lighting power wise that would make this feel even more like clean and intentional. Maybe not. How far away is our power source? Did that help? No. What if I do this? Aha. Yeah. Okay, that's actually a lot better than it was before we moved the bed. And then maybe some signs would make this less scary. Can we move this farther back? I think we can. This will do like a restricted area and hazardous material, which does kind of make the walls feel scary again, I will admit. No, I like that where it is. But that's like a fun pre-war thing. Again, I don't know why that was in a red rocket. What have we got here? Anything? No, I like the like gray monochromatic thing we've got going on there. Could do a little cat painting. My issue is there's not really any like intention behind a cat painting. You know what I mean? Like I would just be putting it up to fill out the wall. Whereas a chair, I could see a point to, you know, if you're the doctor, if you're a patient, if you're visiting a patient, there's a lot of good reasons that a chair would be in here. That's too big. Oh. Yeah. And maybe a little stool on this side. Yeah, so the doctor can talk to the patient there, but also wheel this around if they need to. Okay, that's cute. That's a lot cuter than when we started. Yeah, and now the walls are kind of given more like worn in stucco paint and not terrifying abandoned organ harvesting place. Let's drop some decoration stuff. And then I'm not sure how much more we can get done. This actually might be a good place to pause, even though we still have so much more to do, I know. Let's look for a microscope. Microscope, high-powered microscope. We've got one left. Was there anything else? I thought we did pass something that seemed medically. Bunsen burner? I'll take a Bunsen burner. Ooh, this is one of those. What did I just do? I don't know. Institute microscopes. I'll do a Bunsen burner like that. That's really cute. Okay, that came together beautifully. Oh, I put a sleeping bag up here. That's my bad. Okay, so this is the clinic area. This is just kind of like a general pass through, I guess. And then this, what are you doing? I built you a house. Children. Kids these days. What are you gonna do? All right, you come up here. And it's such a cute house I built them too. You go there. Because I want to use this space, I think, for the general trader. I do think that makes the most sense to let the general trader be like the big one. Why? There we go. That wasn't loading, and that was weird. But if we push this like right up against, we'll scrap these. Like that. Because that way, the general trader could like open up the door every morning, you know, and lock it down at night. And that's really cool. That's really cool. Oh. And we can give them... Can I get this tire out of the floor, or is that just stuck there? We can give them a lot of cool shelves and stuff. This could be a very good like junk shop trader. Y'all know I love junk in this game. Just piling stuff in. We're going to cover up the Vault-Tec calendar, but that's okay because it's 200 years out of date, so I don't think they're using it. But we can definitely give them a magazine rack. One of these big things for the back. Just gonna scooch this back a little bit so I can walk around it more easily. I don't think I have any bobbleheads, but I think this would be cute here. Although it is floating on that little piece of wood. Hold on. What if we switch these? So this tucks into that corner. this stacks on top of the weird trash. And we can just put some weird furniture. Unless, do we think this shelf would make sense being like a room divider shelf? You know what I mean? Like this one is double-sided. So it could. How close does that go? Oh, that's not that bad actually. And then maybe another one like this. I might not like that they're... Actually, I do. Actually, I really do. Yeah. Okay. And I do think this would be an interesting place to do some, like furniture like this. I don't think I can put that TV up on anything. But I do think I can force it in this corner. Oh, I forgot that I had electricity and it'll actually light up. Okay, let me put it. Actually, yeah, let's leave that there. Why not? Is there any other like furniture that looks kind of weird and random here? I think an extra dispenser would be a neat thing for sale. Ooh, and a projector. Yeah. Let me see if I can't put that up there. Because the workshop's in here, I would think that this general store is owned by somebody who makes a lot of repairs themselves. So it would make sense that they have like spare restaurant parts. Will that fit? Spare restaurant parts for, you know, whoever's running the diner, and all the traders upstairs would come here for stuff. Yeah, that's a really, really cute baseline. Let's do some other stuff before I drop junk. Plants, I'll do a dead plant just for some texture. But again, I think this person would be like technologically handy and not necessarily plant handy. Little trash can. Trash can here. I don't need a meat bag. That I'm pretty sure of. But we could use these crates as like inventory for this guy, because he's got a lot going on. Will this go anywhere interesting? Not really. We might have to come back to that. I'm gonna sleep in one of their beds just to get us back to daylight so I can see the upstairs again. Just get a feel for what we have left, what I want to do.
Now that the Institute is gone, we can finally start to work on making the Commonwealth a better place for our kids.
What a glorious wake up. Thank you. Okay, I really do like this little farming shack. Preston's on the roof because of course he is. But we've established some safe food and water, which is awesome. We've started this general store, which needs some more decoration, but I think is a really promising start. This indoor area, I think I also want to decorate a little more. I think it would just be kind of like a common area with maybe some seating. And then this little clinic, I think is absolutely delightful. This turned out really lovely, and this back room for surgery and chem production is really cute. And then we set up a good base here for the upstairs market, which I think will come together nicely up here. What is this little door? Nothing? Nothing. But we've laid the groundwork for it. I think we'll do that in a part 2. And we have a restaurant here. We don't have anybody to work at the restaurant yet, so keep your eyes peeled. And some dining. Yeah, that's really coming together. The other thing that we might do next time, because we're right on the open road, maybe like a guard barrack here greeting people. We didn't catch any animals yet, right? No. Yeah, I think we're getting there. So I think that's where we're going to leave off today. Thank you so much for joining me, the General of the Minutemen, as we work together to make the Commonwealth safer, one settlement at a time. I have a playlist of all the builds I've done so far, and we'll be back next week still working here at Red Rocket. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you like this build, and I will see you in the next one. Have a lovely day. Bye-bye.